Hi everybody, thank you for joining me for another episode of The Lion's Roar. I am Ying Ma. Well, we've all heard that the first rule of karate is for defense only. And the second rule? First, learn rule number 1. That's what Mr. Miyagi told his student Daniel in the acclaimed film series, The Karate Kid. Daniel would say the same thing to his student, Robbie, some 35 years later in the sequel series, Cobra Kai. But that is actually not quite right, at least not according to the two calligraphy scrolls that are the source of rules number 1 and 2. For those of us who read Chinese, the characters on the scrolls say the following. Well, for the first scroll that contains the first rule, it does roughly translate as karate is for self-defense. But the second scroll is not just a re-emphasis of the defense concept. In fact, it says, first, write your heart. First, write your heart, not first, karate is for defense only. In other words, according to the calligraphy scrolls, the second rule is actually rule number 1. What this all says is that before you can do anything else, you must first write your heart. The first scroll is interesting in the context of the Karate Kid movies and the Cobra Kai TV series, but the second scroll is what is truly fascinating for martial arts. Let's start with the first scroll. The characters on that scroll literally say the following: empty hand has no first hand. Well, what does that mean? Well, karate literally means the empty-handed way. First hand, when translated into colloquial English, means first strike. So a more colloquial translation of the first scroll is karate has no first strike, which is essentially the same as what Miyagi explained to Daniel. Karate is for defense only. Of course, the emphasis on no first strike is important because it distinguishes the karate as practiced by Mr. Miyagi and by Daniel from the Cobra Kai school of karate, which follows a different motto: strike first, strike hard, no mercy. But true meaning hidden in plain sight comes from the second scroll. As mentioned before, the second scroll says, first, write your heart. Unbeknownst to a vast majority of the fans of the Karate Kid and Cobra Kai, writing your heart is a command that is fundamental to Confucian teachings. Confucianism believes that an individual must work on perfecting himself internally before he can achieve success externally. While this internal work begins with elements such as seeking knowledge and offering sincerity, it continues with that which is crucial: putting your heart in the right place, making yourself just and virtuous. In ancient times, Confucianism as taught to kings and emperors spelled out the following sequence: write your heart, elevate your character, unite your family, govern the country, bring peace to the world. The internal work that an individual must do to make himself a better person, writing his heart and elevating his character, is necessary for and leads to what he can do externally to create a united family, a well-governed country, and ultimately to bring about a peaceful world. Each step lays the foundation for the next. For ordinary individuals not destined to be kings, queens, and statesmen, Confucian teachings remind us that peace and justice in our hearts and balance at home provides the requisite foundation for achieving career success or external excellence. So, as such, writing your heart, as dictated by Mr. Miyagi's scroll, is crucial in the Karate Kid movies and the Cobra Kai series, and for the practice of martial arts in general. The moral failures and faulty teachings of his sensei haunted and in many ways ruined Johnny Lawrence's life. It did not matter that he was a superb martial artist. The fraught relationship with his parents created imbalance in Robbie's life, as well as grave personal flaws. that too led to tragedy, despite Robbie's ability to become an able fighter. So that's the Karate Kid and Cobra Kai. Now, why didn't the creators of those two series tell us the true meaning behind the second scroll? Did they know? Perhaps they themselves couldn't read the calligraphy characters. But even if they could, this is a lot to explain. Perhaps it was simply much easier to just say, first learn rule number 1. If that is not literally accurate to the letter of the second scroll, it is nevertheless faithful to the spirit. But now that we know the true meaning of the second scroll, let's remember that in life, as well as in martial arts, we must first right our hearts. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and share it widely.